Thank you, thank you. That's much appreciated. My name is Ifeanyi, which is short for Ifeanyi Chuku, or the most African thing you've ever heard. I love my name a lot because coming to America, I get very different pronunciations of it. Sometimes some people call me Ifeanyi, some people call me Ifeanyi, some people call me Ifeanyi, some people call me Ifeanyi. Someone has called me Panini, autocorrect calls me Tiffany. One time in class, a professor was taking attendance and they're going through the names Gregory, George, Jeffrey, Ian, and then they stopped and scanned the room and looked for the most African looking face and then pointed at me and did the gesture like, come on, you're gonna help me? You're gonna help me? Come on, you're gonna help me. I can't do this. Sometimes I get people who actively ask me, please help me. I'm gonna butcher it. I don't want to butcher your name. Please help me. I hate how in America you automatically know how to pronounce names like Chalamet and Schwarzenegger, but you can't say my name. And then I think about how Americans can pronounce Schwarzenegger for obvious reasons. If you don't get it, you're a little slow. If you do get it, you might be a bit racist. Either way, no one's perfect. Speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, has anyone here seen Hercules in LA? No? Yeah, for good reason. It's an old movie from the 80s where Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Hercules coming down from Olympus. And that movie, in some way, is the perfect description of why America gives a hard time to immigrants. Arnold Schwarzenegger came in with an accent, a strong, thick accent. But he spoke English fluently. He was understandable. You could hear him perfectly well. But for some reason, they chose to dub over his voice. So, I'm going to show you what he sounds like first in the movie, and I'm going to show you what he sounds like when he's dubbed. Arnold says, Father, I grow tired of these same people, the same old things. You heard exactly what he said. But Americans wanted to dub him with saying, Father, I grow tired of these same people, these same old things. They use the guy from the Old Testament to dub him. I don't know if they want what they want to hear, but they clearly wanted to hear that. Anyway, because of that, I've decided to think about more clearly what kind of white boy I am. I'm trying to change my accent. I'm trying to change how I sound. Apparently, ICE is going after people with African-sounding accents. So now I need to figure out what flavor of white boy I am. So I thought about going with like the stoner bro and talking to my manager like I'm off a whole lot of stuff and saying that, look, Mr. I'm not going to say my manager's name. Mr. Burns, I can't come into work today. Why? Because I got high. And if I talk like every sentence ends like this, maybe the police won't arrest me. Maybe they just think I'm their burnt out nephew. I've also thought about adopting the southern one because I'm in Georgia. So it would be more of a, good afternoon, officer. How are you doing today? I have had a long day traveling from Savannah, Georgia. Now, why did you pull me over? Look, I've done nothing but stick to the Constitution. You have no right. Neither one would work, but it's nice to think about it sometimes. And even with the accents, they won't save me because recently I discovered that I have an African-looking face. Someone told me this. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I was feeding the homeless one time with a friend of mine who is also Nigerian. And an old homeless man comes up to us and says, hey, what country are you from? Pointing at me. I say I am from Nigeria. He is also from Nigeria. Why didn't you ask him? Say, he looks like he's from here. You got an African-looking face. And I thought that was hilarious because I wasn't the one who looked malnourished and thirsty at the time. Anyway, I'm holding on to that. I've been holding that for a while. And now, it's apparently not just African, it's like Pan-African. If I'm black, I'm that. I've had Senegalese people come up to me telling me what's up. I've had Kenyan people thinking I was Kenyan. I have Ghanaians calling me Kwabena. I've had Haitian people come up to me and ask me, hey brother, do you know where the closest jerk chicken is? I never have an answer. I always say, I don't. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm Nigerian, by the way, but I take it with a smile. Actually, okay, let's take a break from being Nigerian in America for a split second. Being a big person in America is hilarious. Because, one, aside from it being hard to find a triple XL sweater, ignore what I'm wearing, it's a miracle. Aside from it being hard to find a triple XL sweater, it's having the models, the people who stand in to model your clothes for you. A lot of people think that we only have maybe one or two models. But that's not the problem. The problem isn't that we have one or two models. We have only one. And that model, who looks like all of us, is Shaquille O'Neal. I love walking into a men's big and tall section in JCPenney, seeing a 7'1" cardboard cutout of Shaquille saying, "What's up, big dog? You look hungry. Need some Papa John's? Better ingredients, better pizza. I know those knees hurt and you want some icy hot too. I can definitely get you a great deal on insurance. Go to the general." Nah, I love seeing Shaq so much. I know he has my back. Another really silly thing that happened to me one time was in college. I went to college in Michigan, by the way, where they manufacture the white people. And I was talking to a friend of mine who was Ghanaian about how nice it is to be in America comparatively. That we worked hard to be here, we wrote the exams, we took the tests, we filled out the applications, we lied, and we found our way in this country. And one of my classmates, for some reason, obviously he's white, he comes up to us and says, "Wait, have you guys ever killed a man before?" I do not know why he asks me this. There's no reason for him to do so. But I decided to mess with him a little bit. So I looked at my friend and I say, "Brother, this colonizer wishes to know our history. I think it is time we tell him." We turn to him and say, "When a boy turns 15 years old, his father hands him the ancestral spear and says, 'You must kill your best friend.' So I carried the ancestral spear from my father, walked up to my best friend, looked him in the eye, and I said, 'Today is the day that I will kill you, and you will die.' And I killed him, and he died." My white classmate, without missing a beat, says, "Oh boy, is Wakanda real too?" And without missing a beat, I say, "But of course, it's just surprisingly harder to get into Wakanda than it is America, so we're here anyway." And by the way, if you think we actually sound like this, you are racist. It's Black History Month. Do better. If y'all can't tell by the state of my hair, I haven't been in a barber shop for a while, an ungodly long time. It's not because I don't want to. It's that because my barber got a second job, I have now gained an understanding as to why men cheat. No, really. He doesn't have as much time for me anymore. The last time I went to get a haircut, I had to go get a haircut from a different person. I had to get a little something on the side, and he could tell. I go up to him, I sit in the chair, the pleasantries aside, how's it going? He looks at my hair and says, "Who's been cutting your hair, man?" And with women in the crowd who know, whenever you ask that question, whenever you ask any question, it's an inquisition. You know the answer already. You're just wanting to see how well they lie. So I say, "No one, I've been doing it myself." Okay. Well, I can see from your hairline, your lineup, that someone's been cutting your hair. "No, I've just been messing around with my clippers." And then he says every barber has a signature on their hair whenever they cut someone's hair. But this time a barber actually left his signature in my hairline, so it was obvious that I had been seeing someone else. And then of course I had to scramble like any good man would. I had to start lying. "Look, man, it's not my fault. I was desperate. I needed it bad, man. I needed it real bad." No one ever believes you. No one is ever going to believe you when you start that lie. You just take it as it comes. Honestly, okay, I'm going to take a quick break. What are y'all grateful for? Anybody in the audience? Young lady who's on her phone in front of me, what are you grateful for? Just shout it out. Life, that's wonderful. I love to hear it. What are you grateful for? Life. Everybody's grateful for life. Sometimes. I love that, yeah. Sometimes. What are you grateful for, young man in the back? That's really nice. Do you feed the ducks? Incredible. I envy you. I'm trying to build a culture, a lifestyle of gratitude now. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be employed. But recently, more than anything, I'm grateful that I am not on crack. Honestly speaking, I could be on crack. I have never been on crack, but I could be. Any one of us could be on crack. Recently, I had a gratitude exercise with my therapist, and she told me that it didn't count saying that I was grateful that I wasn't on crack. That there's a system of decisions I would have had to make to be on crack. And that offended me. Not because she dismissed my feelings of gratitude, which terrible job on her part, but because she thought she was too good for crack. No one is too good for crack. You see the people outside on the road hustling? They didn't think they were too good for crack. No shade to people who are recovering. Again, no one is too good for crack. It's crack. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not on it. I could be, but I'm not. I could be. I really could, but I'm not. One time, I went to a church in Michigan, just visiting a different space. And there's this section of every service where they say, all right, everybody go talk to your neighbor, go shake their hand, go talk to someone new today. And a cowboy who looked like he was on crack came from the back of the church and walked up to me and said, what's up, partner? Look, people here may not get you. They may not understand you. But I want you to know, I see you, I know you, and I love you. And we don't blame your people for 9/11 or any of the other tragedies that have fallen America. We don't blame you for any of that. We just want you to know we see you and we love you. This was my second semester of college. All I had in my mind was calculus and laundry. I had no idea what this man was talking about. After the service, I got really bothered and I had the courage and I said, excuse me, sir, why did you come all the way to talk to me? And then he looks left, looks right, and breathes a sigh of relief. He says, look, I was just nervous. I thought you were Haitian, and I wanted to know where the closest Nando's was so I could get some jerk chicken. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Does anyone here have a work wife or a work husband? No one? Wow, y'all are living a good life. I have a work arranged marriage with my manager. See, my visa requires me to be managed, and his visa requires him to manage someone, so we're a match made in heaven. We're learning to love each other. It's a gradual process, honestly, but I'm enjoying it. Our parents were right. Every parent is right, and, we're looking forward to the future. Does anyone here have plans for Valentine's Day? No? Dang, that sounded a little painful. Are you okay, bro? Dang. Don't drive. Don't drive. Don't go to any restaurants, please. You sound like you're going to go to a restaurant and say, oh my gosh, 5 in 1 week, you dog. And just mess with a guy who has plans. Or talk to a random lady and say, hey, your boyfriend looks different. I didn't know you started dating black dudes. Just ruining people's plans the entire week. Nah, Valentine's Day is always a really funny subject around me. As a hopeless romantic, trying to get my love, my hopes and dreams out there, it's really difficult because you want to express yourself, you have to be yourself, but you also have to be your best self, but you can never be your best self because your best self is comparative. So you have to be a better version of yourself each time, and you have to maintain that best version of yourself. At a certain point, there aren't enough selves to give out, so you just, I guess, give up at a certain point. And then the lady's like, what happened? Where did this energy go? I used to be. There's a point. I can't be that guy every day. But alas, relationships are hard. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you have somebody, hold them tight. The streets are not for you. Don't even look at the sidewalk. Just stay home. Stay home, hold them tight.